this is Coach Hall, and welcome to the Monday Motivation Meeting. Today is November 22nd, 2021. Let me take off my shades so I can see what I'm doing. This is a week of gratitude and thanks, and that's what the topic of the week is going to be all about. On Thursday in America, and I believe my friends north of the border in Canada as well, that part of North America, they celebrate this wonderful day. It's coming up on Thursday. We get together with our families, traditionally speaking. We have a big, huge meal. It's usually turkey or ham or something like this involved. And we give a lot of thanks to the upcoming year, the past year, our family, whatever it is that you're thankful and grateful for. We share the time together to celebrate all of these things that we are blessed with in our lives. And so I want to dedicate this meeting to that. And I'm going to go into greater detail about this and how it can help you motivate your day. It could be this week, could be the rest of your life. But since this is the week of Thanksgiving, I really wanted to talk about it. Okay, before we jump into the topic of the day, let's just talk about what's going on with the group. We're having a little reduction in group size. We had gotten up to 76 at one point, got down to 73, I think, last week. Now we've dropped off to 71. So I'm anticipating the wheels starting to turn around as we go through a Black Friday event that's going to come up this week. Big sales day. Things are starting to already crank up in Udemy, and we're starting to see an uptick on enrollment. So some of those folks that will enroll in my classes will end up here in the LLE, so I'm anticipating some growth in the coming weeks. Okay, so let's talk about the gratitude and what we should be giving thanks for the week, for the year, for our life, for that matter. I got to say that this has been a really difficult year. And so if it's been a difficult year for you, you may be thinking to yourself, as I've actually had this thought in my head too, why do I need to give thanks? What do I need to express any gratitude for? It's been a really crappy year, right? I've had a lot of health issues with my family, economic issues with my family. It's just been a really difficult and trying year. It seems like everybody I know has gotten sick at some point in time. And some folks, they just get sick for a little bit and they get better. But others have not been so lucky. They've had long-term illnesses, and even earlier in the year, or actually in the middle of this year, in June, I lost my father to complications from a number of ailments, and COVID and dementia. All these things were part of the mix, and it was just too much for him to overcome. And so we lost him this year. My mother dealing with breast cancer. My children going through economic hardship, my older boys, and my youngest son having difficulties in education with his educational program and having to shift around and move, and going through some social difficulties on his own because of relocation and the effects of COVID on all of his friends and of course his family members. My in-laws struggling, difficult year, health-wise, economic-wise, having to move from Spain to back here to the U.S., and just a lot of emotional turmoil to go through, plus early stages of dementia happening with my family. So it's with them. It's been just a very, very trying and difficult year all around. So how do you find gratitude and thanks when you've had such a difficult year? Well, we're going to get into that in a moment, but one of the things you can always do is get caught up in the moment, okay? Not in your head, Okay, and your head is where all this worry about the future, or what's happened in the past, what happened yesterday. But right now in the moment, if you take the time to look around, you'll find something pleasant. You'll find something peaceful. You'll find something that's not causing you pain. And focus on that. Okay, focus on that. Turn on a comedy show. Listen, read a comic book or comic strips. Something funny. Humor is a wonderful gift. Music. I love music. Music turns my mood instantly. If I'm not feeling good, I just crank on some good music, start singing, and next thing you know, my mood changes. And from that standpoint, it's easier to focus more objectively about what are the other things that are going on in your life that you can be happy for and proud of and feel blessed by. What is the gratitude? And you will see it and you'll find it if you focus on it. So there's some things we have to do in advance when we're feeling down to, shift the needle, if you will, from how we're feeling negatively to more neutral, so that we can shift that needle all over to the positive. And when we start thinking about the positive things, we need to spend a little time being grateful. Because, as I said, this has been, really the last 2 years have been the most difficult years of most of the people that I know in the world. I know people all over the world. And the last 2 years has been right up there. If not the most difficult, certainly one of the most difficult times that they've been alive. Okay, so what do I want to do? What I want to do right now is I'm going to let you know what my schedule is. I'm going to be taking a few days off, probably beginning Wednesday because of Thanksgiving Day. Friday, I'm going to get together with my brother and his family, and pick up my mom, and we're going to go do that whole thing. The schedule was such that we really couldn't do that on Thursday, so we're going to get everybody together on Friday. And Thursday, I'm going to do something here local, and then probably do something over the weekend with some other family members and friends, my chosen family, if you will, my friends. And that's what it's going to be, just 4 or 5 days of hanging out with people that are closest to me and expressing some gratitude and thanks, and personally reminding them why it is that I love them so much. I'm going to spend a few days just talking to people about how awesome they are. And that's always good. Makes me feel good to do that. They feel good. The whole atmosphere changes, and hopefully they can take that back home when we get back into our regular lives, if you will. So I'm going to start off today's Monday morning meeting by giving you guys a big thanks. Thank you guys for having the courage to sign up and be a part of this group. It's not as active as I'd like it to be, and the buck stops here. It's been a difficult year, as I've said, and I wish I was able to get on here and do lives all the time and put some additional course information up. And I do my best. I've thrown some things up, so you see me 3-4 times a week at least putting things up. And I'm hoping in the future to be a bit more active in that. If we get a little break here from COVID and some of these extracurricular issues that are happening in the world, that'll free me up some time to do what I want to do here in the group. One thing I can say about this group, and I want to thank you guys again for joining the group. This has been a wonderful learning experience. It's been a difficult experience. Facebook changing things up, and me trying to figure out how different things work, and how folks are coming into the group, and how to filter folks into the group, and how to, maybe have to get rid of a few people that shouldn't be in the group. Those sorts of things. I've been a moderator before in a number of groups, but that was more or less just looking at messages and corresponding and talking to the people that are in the group. Doing all the mechanics and the behind the scenes stuff, that was somebody else's job. Now I'm doing that stuff too, and it's like, ooh, okay, learning curve time. And so that's what's been happening here. And honestly, I've come up short on many of my goals for LLE, many of my coaching goals, many of my school goals, and so a number of goals, pretty much probably across the board. Every goal I set for myself on all phases of my life, every area of balance has been a little bit short, in some places way short. And maybe for some of you, you can relate to that because, like as I said, it's you plan things out, but what you can't plan for are the things that you can't plan for, right? You don't know what you don't know, and who would have thought 2 years ago COVID would have been with us as long as it's been? Who would have known it would have had the reaching impacts on so many different levels like it has, and how we've had to respond to it and recover from it. Nobody could have predicted all the little aspects and components and elements of this thing. It's just too complicated. And it's had an impact on pretty much everybody I know, including myself. Okay. All right. So I want to say, though, despite this being a really difficult year, one of the things I'm really grateful for is having the ability to set this group up and getting it kick-started. I think I opened the door originally maybe late February, early March, somewhere in that time frame, and really kind of got cranking a bit in about April. That I met some really cool people, and I want to express some thanks, particular to 7 people actually. I want to start with a big thanks, and I'm so blessed to know this guy. I think he was the first person to join my group. He and I have worked together as moderators in another group. It's got about, 60,000 people at this point. I think we built it up to about 20 together. He started his own group. I support him in that group, and and he supports me in my group. We're supporting each other, and his group's up individually up to around 17,000, 18,000 or so. Good sized group. Ours is nowhere near that as of yet, but we're going to get there at some point. And Graham Nichols, I want to thank you so much for being my friend and helping me and participating and putting some comments here and there and just contributing to the group. He's my only friend that's in the group that I knew before we built this group. Okay, and I needed it. I couldn't have a gratitude and thank you meeting without mentioning my buddy Graham. Okay, so here's some people that I have met specifically through and because of LLE. Great individuals. All of you that have joined have been awesome, but these folks have reached out and we've had actual back and forth communication with. I want to start with Leslee Howse for messaging me from time to time and sharing with me her skills. She's got some incredible skills, handwriting capabilities, and this ability to take photo images and put them in film and basically create your character, your avatar in vivo, if you will, on camera, on film, and putting you in scenarios where you it's like watching yourself be successful. It's a really cool thing to do, and I could see the benefit of that, watching yourself be successful. And she's doing it kind of in a CGI, computer graphics kind of way with some software programming that she's an expert with. She's got an amazing talent. So she's very gifted, and if you get a chance, reach out to her. Her pricing schedules and stuff like that are just ridiculously value-based. I mean, she under prices herself, in my opinion. But if you get a chance, just drop her a line, say, hey, I want to know more about what it is that you do, and she can help you out. And I'm so grateful for her for sharing what's going on with her. This LLE is about learning and launching and earning, and she's been a part of that. She's learning things, she's launching things, and she's earning, and that's what's awesome. And so thank you, Leslee, for being a member and being a friend of mine. So now I want to turn my attention to another person I met very early on in the group, Jessica Petty. She's also got different mechanisms to help people, okay? And I don't want to speak too much about it because I only know a little bit about it, but she's relayed some of it to me and it sounds fascinating. And we were touching base for a while, but life got in the way, if you will. Good things happened for her. She was pregnant, she's had a child, she's got 2 babies, 2 very young children, and she's a mother of two, and I know what that's like. So I want to thank her for just spending some time with me, because time, I know how valuable time is when it comes to parenting. I have 4 kids of my own. I remember when they were younger, I just didn't have any time for anybody, hardly any time to breathe. And yet she's made some time to correspond with me, and hopefully we'll get together and do some more things in the future. And I want to give a big thanks, and so grateful that she's a part of the group and she's here helping us out from time to time. But she's got her own voyage, and I want to support her and her endeavors as well. So thank you very much, Jessica. And then somebody I met way back early on, Leo Mel Adriano, I think is the name. I never actually said his last name before, but I want to thank you for sharing your physical therapy practice and information with me. He's sent me information about what he's doing, and again, it's all about learning, launching and earning. And I see him launching and doing things. He's always showing his promotions and stuff that he's doing. He's on top of it. He's doing a great job. Bravo to him. Thank you for being a participant in the group. Very grateful to have the pleasure to have met you as well, and hopefully we can do some more things in the future. Now, I got the next person, and we're getting into closer and closer relationships in terms of our sort of entanglement with one another, if you will. And one of my major entanglements has been with Joanna Jerkowitz Gomez. I think I said it right. Pretty sure I got the Joanna part right. She jumped on a Zoom call with me way back. I think it was the first person in the group to jump on a Zoom call with me. We had a nice little chat, talked about what she wants to do, talked about what I'm doing and how we can work together. And she's working on a Polish translation of the ACT courses. And she's already sent me some of the work that she's done already, a lot of work she's done already. And we had to put things on pause for a bit because she fell in love and got married. And that's fantastic. That's a great year, man. I'll tell you what, that's what I look to. And she's the one of many people that I look to when I see how difficult this year is. That it's not difficult for everybody, perhaps. There are some wonderful blessings occurring in this world, and we happen to have Joanna and the group's having a wonderful year, got married, and she's had a couple projects that she shared and I've seen and with great success. So good things are happening, and that's fantastic. Bravo. Thank you for sharing that. We need a taste of the good life, if you will. And getting married and having success in your projects is good to know, good to share, because like I said, we're not all going through good times right now. So it's good to see that it's not all gloomy for everybody out there, that we have folks out there having a better life right now, and that's something we can aspire to have as well. So fantastic working with Joanna. I'm hoping we can come finish the project sometime down the line and get back to working on that. But I know you got busy things going on, and I'm so happy for you and so grateful to you. So thanks a lot. And now up, I'm going to do my best to get this name right. She told me the name. We were laughing about it because of I got this American accent, and Americans, we're just not so good at the bigger, longer words. We just struggle with them. But let's try this out. Mayuri Jija Sangameshwar. I think that's how you say the name. I hope I got it right. If you're watching, give me a thumbs up, or type in, or maybe voicemail me the proper pronunciation of your name. Anyhow, it's a beautiful name, and she's even a more beautiful person. I jumped on a Zoom call with her, and I'm so grateful that she spent some time with me, because we're on opposite sides of the planet in terms of relationship and time zone. So trying to get a time where I'm not asleep or she's not asleep, or one of us is not sleepy or just waking up, not an easy task to do. And we were able to do that. We got to spend about an hour on the phone. It was wonderful speaking with her and sharing what she wants to do, or and the things that she is doing. She's into sounds and vibrations and things like that. And she's already incorporated many aspects of ACT into what it is she does to help people. And that's amazing to me. I love to see the genius of minds out there taking what works, playing with it, adapting it, using it with what you're already doing that works well, and creating something unique and special. And so I enjoy watching her evolve and develop and grow as a human being. And she also just recently launched a new website. So there she go, learning, launching, earning. So she's launching the new website, and she's really skilled at making jewelry. She's got some items that she sells, things that she's created with her hands. It's amazing stuff. I've seen some of her stuff. I've been following her. And so I'm just very honored to have been able to be blessed with meeting her and talking to her and sharing information with her, and hopefully we'll continue this relationship moving forward, perhaps do a project together, what have you. So thank you so much for being a member of this group, and I'm so grateful to know you and you to be a part of this whole community. Now, the next person, I don't even have enough words to say how grateful I am for Sonia Sonia Shom. Let me see, is that right? I think I misspelled her name. Let me just double check real quick. Let me see if I can find. Don't think I got her name spelled right, and that's why I got Shom. Yeah, Sonia Shom. I think I got that right. I just had misspelled it on my notes here. Okay. All right. Sonia Shom. She's been the #1 LLE contributor. In fact, she's a group expert now. We've been on a couple calls together. She joined me in the meet and greet thing. We had a nice little conversation then. We've had another. I was trying out the rooms one day, and she popped in on me, and we got to talking that day. And so it's been wonderful. She is so awesome in terms of what she does, what she presents. She's a very skilled writer, and her message is what's so on point with this group. Very positive, presenting very personal stories, her own personal stories, and she's a testimony. She's a walking testimony of being in a dark place and just maybe a decision away from not being with us anymore, right? Versus where she's at now and how she's able to support and help so many people. I'm so honored and blessed to have met her, and even I just don't have enough words of thanks for her contributing the way she does. I mean, she's on it every day. Every day she's putting a post in the group, and that's just incredible. And again, I don't have enough words to say how grateful I am, but I just a big, huge, universal. If I could, I'd give you a big hug and a kiss on the cheek. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Okay. I also got to thank my wife. My wife silently joined the group some time back, and every once in a while I'll post something, and the only person that puts a reaction, a thumbs up, it's her. And it feels good. It feels good to know that somebody is looking at your messages. And we live very busy lives. This has been a very busy year for both of us. We get together every day, but during the day I'm busy doing my thing, and she's in real estate, got a very active business going on. So we don't see each other all the time during the day. And yet, some point during the day, she thinks of me, she goes into the group, reads my message or my post, and puts a little thumbs up. And so I want to thank her for her support and helping me through a really difficult year. And so, thank you, my love. All right. Now, I want to share this with you guys as we want to wrap up this meeting. I know when I feel, this is a critical part of what I'm saying here, when I feel grateful, It's not just to say the words, hey, I'm grateful for what, but when I actually feel grateful. And I authentically, sincerely give thanks. There is a shift in my sensations. There's something that actually chemically rushes through my body, electrically, spiritually runs through my body. It's almost like I take a spiritual bath where maybe there's some negative toxins floating about, and then there's this bath of optimism, this bath of positivity, this bath of love that comes across me. And I get that as a reward for simply expressing gratitude and thanks. But it has to be sincere, and it needs to be felt. Just to say the words is not enough. So when you go through your week, I want you to really spend some time thinking about how grateful you are and what you are thankful for. You can start by jotting it down on paper, but then spend some time with it. Understand what you're grateful for. What does it mean? For me, this group has meant being able to reach out and touch more people, and speak with them more directly and help them with any struggle they may have learning the information that I'm teaching in my courses. And I know some of the stuff is complicated, and anytime we learn anything for the first time, it can be, it could just send your head spinning and make you feel like, oh God, it's just too hard. There's enough things going on in the world, and now I got to figure out what ACT is, or Six Film is, or the CTME, or Optimal Happy Life, or any of the other things that I'm teaching. If you're into the parenting courses, then you're like, oh my God, I don't have time for this. It's too much. And it is. It really does feel like it's too much. However, if you want the best parenthood journey, there are certain skills that we need to have for that to happen, and that's what we teach at the Optimal Parenting courses. So in all the Help Me I'm a Parent series. So I'm here to help you guys, and I'm glad that I've had some folks join up. I'm very happy for the percentage that I have of folks that have reached out and touched base with me, and some of the projects that I have participated in with some of you in the group. And I really feel that. Those aren't just words. I feel it because I know what it would feel like without that. And sometimes that's what we have to do. Sometimes we just have to imagine, what would have life been if this great thing, this thing that we have that we're grateful for, had not occurred? What emptiness would still be there? What lessons would have been lost? And sometimes we need to take it from that perspective. Oh my goodness, if we start looking at it from that perspective, we might actually go, whoa, I can't imagine what my life would be without these things in my life. And sometimes we just take this stuff for granted, but now this is a great week to give thanks and gratitude for these wonderful things. As small as they might seem, they might be the thing that create the foundation to build everything else that's going to be positive in the future. That's all it takes, is this one little tiny positive gesture, just a smile. If it is that you've had a really bad day and you walk down the street and you just see somebody that smiles at you, that has actually saved the lives of people. People have written stories about they were ready to go, or walking to the bridge, they're going to jump off the bridge and kill themselves, and somebody stopped, saw them, smiled, and said, good morning, and looked them in the eye when they said that. And that was enough to go, wait a minute, I have a little hope here. There's still a little faith in humanity. Things may not be so bad. I just need to spend a little more time on this earth to figure it out. Okay? So, spend some time being grateful. If you do and you really feel it, you'll feel better for it. That's for sure. All right, that's going to wrap things up. I want you guys to have a wonderful week. I'm going to take a few days off to celebrate gratitude and thankfulness and I hope you do the same thing. Live long and prosper, my friends. Keep cool and share the love.